Batman. Batman's awesome. Today I'm going to be talking about this set. It's an awesome set. God.
Alright, let's get to work. Michael?
Yeah?
How did you get in here?
The door was open.
Oh, fair enough. Want to do a video?
Yeah! Can I keep the hat?
No.
Oh.
Receiver can't finish your curtain. Let's see what he has to say. What's he got for us this time? They're probably Blu-rays. Aficionados Chris. It's a guilty pleasure. Aficionados Chris. It's a compound measure. Aficionados shine the lights. Show the camera. Smile for the world in panorama. He likes to impersonate Walk-On.
Hey everybody, Aficionados Chris here, and as you can see next to me, I have my first official guest on my channel. This is Michael Barth Edwards. Say hello to the nice people. Hi! Yes, that's Michael is a good friend of mine. We met because we're both very passionate voice actors and love the medium. He's been in a couple of my videos. You've probably heard him do the Hulk voice.
Well, I did kind of slow it down.
Well, yeah, you did better than Freddie Tatshore, I'd say.
Oh no.
Fine, you're better than Eric Bana.
Okay.
We'll go with that. The only voice I can do is Gilbert Gottfried, really.
Do it, come on.
I don't want to do it! It takes too much out of my system.
Finally, I get to hear it in real life.
He gets to hear it yelling at his face!
So Michael and I, aside from being fairly decent voice actors, we're also very passionate about voice acting in general, whether it be voice actors, the field. We're big fans of some of the greatest. He's a big Ron Paulson fan, obviously. The big thing is, as many people who watch my videos and probably saw my Lego movie review, I have a bit of a pet peeve with celebrities doing voice acting in animated films, because I personally believe that it takes jobs away from,
because they're playing themselves a lot of the time.
Yes, but like, you got like Chris Rock, who's basically just playing Chris Rock's
I will never forgive him for what he said last year.
Well, there's so many of them that, just do it because they're asked and they get a good money. And,
Dustin Hoffman actually said he doesn't consider it a job.
Which is a shame to Dustin Hoffman, because I used to respect him as an actor. So because of that, there are a few exceptions. There are people that don't do it well, they just play themselves as an anime character, or in today's list, there's actually quite a few people that do it so well that we actually forget that it's a celebrity doing the voice.
Well, I mean, I know it's them, but then it's just like, oh my god, I didn't know they could even do that.
Yeah, they actually try. Like, they change their voice, they become the character. Like recently with Liam Neeson as good cop.
Oh god, I love that they let him use his normal voice. But
yeah.
Has
anyone ever heard Liam Neeson not sound like he's gonna kick your ass? So today we're doing our top 10 best celebrity voice performances in animated films.
Sacha Baron Cohen as King Julian Madagascar.
Which, let's be fair here.
Yeah.
Has Sacha Baron Cohen ever used his real voice in anything?
Have you seen Sweeney Todd?
I did, but even then it's not really his normal voice.
Well, the only time I've ever heard him use his normal voice is on talk shows. That's literally the only time.
And he sounds so
British.
Professional and British. So, I'm not a big fan, as you know, I'm not a big fan of DreamWorks. I don't support them. They make a lot of decisions that I personally have an issue with, especially with
Money and Sherman.
Cats and Berg! He actually does a good job in that movie. He's actually pretty funny.
That was the first time I think I actually ever heard of him.
See, I heard of him because of this movie.
I love you have to have that right there.
I'm always prepared. I know where everything is. What else can we say about him? He's funny. He doesn't really do his own voice, but to his credit, Sacha Baron Cohen is a very dedicated
The energy that guy has in anything he does is just amazing.
Anybody who can walk around buck naked in a hotel, earns my respect.
Right.
Kevin Spacey as Hopper in A Bug's Life. This is your choice, actually.
Yeah.
It's been years since I've seen it.
I used to watch the movie over and over because my grandma used to own it on VHS.
I've never owned that, but like I saw it twice, maybe another time when it was on home video. It's been years, but I after seeing clips, Kevin Spacey's pretty good in the role.
I think my favorite is when he's talking to Addo when you first see him, and like that sinister kind of talking, like he's just like talking.
You don't smell like a queen. Patrick Stewart as King Goobot in Jimmy Neutron.
He hates this movie.
I saw it in theaters.
I did too.
With my grandfather, and I loved it when I was 9. And then I grew up.
It's Shark Tale all over again.
I saw Shark Tale in theaters. Don't remind me.
I didn't, so I was the
And by the way, nobody in Shark Tale's on the list. So Patrick Stewart as King Goobot. I kind of remember that because when I was a kid, I knew Patrick Stewart from Star Trek and obviously X-Men. Because you gotta remind me, because all I remember is that Patrick Stewart basically hammed it up for that character.
Oh god,
he was partnered with Martin
Short. If only they had Jim Carrey as another one, that would have been like the ultimate ham fest.
Dude,
right
that would probably make the movie a little bit better in my eyes.
I'm just saying, like, Patrick Stewart can. I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier today. I was saying Patrick Stewart can never be a serious bad guy. I think he's gotten to the point where I think he can only play a cheesy bad guy now. Clearly, he's so much fun recording that film.
Patrick Stewart's good. Personally, I prefer him as Adventure in The Pagemaster. Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant in Iron Giant, obviously. That is a phenomenal film.
It's one of Brad Bird's best, if not his best, in my opinion.
Vin Diesel was that actor that everybody, when I was a young, like 11 to 13, that kind of period where you're just becoming a teenager,
right.
Everybody was obsessed with him. Everybody loved the Fast movies. I forget, what else did that guy do?
That's about it.
Oh, Vin Diesel in the Iron Giant is surprisingly good because, you know, he's kind of a...
chilling.
Not just, like, chilling, but, like, in general, when he does his movies, he's kind of boring. Like, he just
so him playing a robot's an upgrade in his career.
A wooden actor that plays a robot, but that's surprisingly...
Kind of he went from wood to steel.
But, like, steel that had heart. He was the Tin Man.
He's the Tin Man.
I
can just picture Vin Diesel now. Oh, I don't care.
He's really good, but the thing that always... like, that kind of sold me on his performance, because for the most part, it's just like, oh, it's Vin Diesel as a robot, but that's the other thing, is that it's Vin Diesel
as a robot.
And, like, I forget, like, it's that kind of role where I guess anybody could play it, because it's just a robot.
Alan Rickman
could play it. He's wooden enough.
Pauly Shore.
That's the line that actually sold me on his performance, was the last line of the movie when, you know, he tells...
I almost, actually, no, I'm going to sound so wimpy when I say it. I choke up every time, like, the last line.
I do too. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with having emotions at an animated film.
Eric Baldwin!
But specifically as North in Rattigan or Russian Santa. He can do a good Russian.
I know.
Santa. Russian Santa.
I was going to say, he can do a good Russian. Oh my.
So you're going to discuss this a little more in detail, because I personally haven't seen it.
I was actually debating on two roles in the movie. I was debating on Jude Law's Pitch, which is basically, this is the best, he is literally just Hades from Hercules, but British.
Alec Baldwin's really good. I mean, again, I haven't seen the movie, but I saw enough clips and enough coverage that I think he's good in it. It's the same with Hotel Transylvania, which still I have not yet seen, but they at least, you know, are trying. They're not doing their own voice. Which, that's the thing, again, these actors could just shrug it off and just do their own voice, but...
I'm still getting paid anyway.
Exactly, they're still getting lots of money, but they at least give, they're dedicated actors, they actually give a performance.
Exactly.
What's important is that no matter how good you may think you are, Ben Stiller lying still sounds like Ben Stiller lying.
He's good, but it's just Ben Stiller lying. It's like David Schwimmer Giraffe. He's having so much fun in the role. That's what I really like about it.
Mike Myers as Shrek in Shrek. He's great in that because, did you know, originally it was supposed to be Chris Farley.
Right, and he died before, and I remember he died like a year before voice
which I can't even imagine that. What's great about Mike Myers as Shrek is that, like we've been saying, he changed his voice. He didn't do, like, you know, I guess you could say, oh, that's Mike Myers, but he gave the character this sort of Scottish, Irishy act. Like, it's sort of like a hybrid because, you know, Mike Myers is an Irish man.
Irish Canadian,
and, you know, the character Shrek kind of sounds like he's pop Scottish.
Pop Scottish.
But he kind of found like this in between to mix the two.
Molded them.
Yeah, molded and made this. It's sort of like Bugs Bunny, how it's a little bit
Brooklyn and Bronx
voice.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Shrek movies, but
I'm not a big fan. I say I like the second one a little more than the first one, but I still like the first one. I have not seen the third one.
Don't.
That's all anyone ever tells me is don't. There's not much to say about Mike Myers. I mean, it's sort of common knowledge that the role is awesome.
Right.
He's awesome, or was.
After Love Guru.
James Woods as Hades in Hercules. And critics, actually, when the movie first came out, critics went so far as to say he brought this sort of ambiance similar to Robin Williams in Aladdin, that he actually gave a performance. He didn't just, you know, do his own voice, which is still his voice, but there is a performance in there.
Right, and he's my favorite Disney villain, in my opinion.
He's one of mine. My personal favorite of all time is always going to be Claude Frollo.
Oh, I thought you were going to start doing Captain Hook. I was like, incoming! What do you think, Mr. Captain?
Mr. Smee! Pipe up the crew!
I love Disney films. I mean, I love Disney, as you can clearly see with my Disney shelf. So Hades is a good, like, he's a funny villain. Like, he does terrible things.
As Doug Walker put it, he talks more like a lawyer than he does talk like a villain.
But that was actually the difficulty with the performance, that the animators had a hard time animating because he talks so fast. What's great is it's sort of like how in The Great Mouse Detective, which he's not on the list, but he should be.
Oh, I can't believe we forgot him.
We forgot. Yeah, we'll keep him in this as an honorable mention. Yeah, Vincent Price in The Great Mouse Detective. Much like with Hades, is that the animation perfectly matches the performance.
Like when he's on the harp and like he's hunched over, like just I love that.
But like they do the same with Hades, is that the way he moves, the way he talks, the way he gestures, it adds to the performance.
I remember the hand moves, like we kiss, we dance, we go have fun. What do you say?
James Woods is one of those actors that he loves that character so much. He said that he will reprise it no matter what.
Kingdom Hearts, he's done it every time. House of Mouse.
Did anyone else watch House? I loved House of Mouse.
I liked it, but I didn't watch it a lot.
And did he reprise the role for the Hercules cartoon?
Yes, he did.
Speaking of Disney performances that are amazing, Robin Williams as the genie in Aladdin. That's a very
10,000 years.
Look at such a crick in the neck. But Aladdin was the pinnacle animated film for me. It sort of cemented my love for animation and voice acting in general. Because early on it was Rocco, Ren, Snippy, Night Before Christmas. But Aladdin was kind of like
Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco
right there.
With Aladdin, what I loved about it, other than its animation, it's just a great movie in my opinion. It's got great songs by Alan Menken, of course. It's got great animation, great performances, and two actors who really inspired me, as you can tell from one of them. Robin Williams is a big inspiration as far as my comedy.
Who's the other?
And the other one is obvious. Gilbert Godfrey!
Were you able to do that as a kid?
No!
I've never actually asked
When I was a kid, I thought it was like,
he's funny.
because he had like this unusual voice. Robin Williams is another one of Billy West's exceptions, is that Robin Williams, as he said, understands character. Right. And as you could probably, if you've seen Mrs. Doubtfire, Rob Williams has a great admiration for voice acting.
And have you? And I know he hates bringing up this from Popeye. If you listen to his Popeye,
he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Much like Hades, much like Vincent Price, the animation, perfectly matches his performance. He's very animated. He's very passionate, and he ad-libs. Aladdin's voice, specifically Robin Williams' voice schedule, was being done at the same time that Schindler's List was being shot.
Right.
And Spielberg and Robin are friends, obviously with Hook, which is a great movie.
Very underrated.
Very underrated film. But the film's subject matter, for obvious reasons, is very depressing. Right. Spielberg would actually call up Robin Williams and say, hey, I need you to cheer up the cast and crew because, we're doing the film. And apparently, according to...
What, Liam's boring voice couldn't cheer them up?
Well, apparently, specific lines that are in the movie were things that Robin did to cheer them up. Specifically, did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? You would never leave that set, because if it gets really morbid and depressing, it's like, can we call Robin? Gary Oldman as Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2, which is superior to the first movie. I like
definitely.
He is both funny and
creepy.
Despicable.
He is so creepy in this.
I love that he had like knife.
I was actually about to bring up his robotic feet. Like when the first shot you see him in, you see his feet first, and they're like metallic robot crane feet.
He was freaky, but I love that about him. He's despicable, but he's like the Joker. He makes you laugh, but he's evil as well.
The only reason you're still alive is because I find your stupidity mildly amusing.
It feels weird that I don't have much to say because I'm so lenient about things. I just love that character. Last one on our list is a bit of a respectful one because unfortunately he passed away recently. Was a phenomenal actor.
Yes.
One of
the most shocking deaths I heard of.
Indeed, I didn't believe it. I thought it was.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke too, like
a cruel joke.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman in a movie that I don't think everybody's seen.
This is what I don't think people. I think people figured out was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone knows.
I hope that Mary Max is a little more because I saw.
Oh, by the way, it's Mary Max.
Yeah, Mary Max. but Max in Mary Max. Philip Seymour Hoffman took this role so seriously because
I didn't know it was him first.
I kept forgetting because the character is a very
depressing.
Not just, but he is a very authentic Jew. He's Yiddish, and he actually speaks Yiddish in the movie.
Yeah, Deskuntai.
Yeah, Deskuntai. But like he says that every time he sends a letter. The movie we're gonna describe. The movie's about two unlikely pen pals. Mary, who's a little girl in Australia,
who has a very, very bad family.
Oh, she has a horrible life. And Max, who's an overweight Jewish autistic man. Wow,
which was a very shocking twist. I didn't.
I like that. I like that he was autistic. I thought that was I mean, as two Aspies ourselves.
This isn't the simple autism. This is like hardcore autism.
It's like intense. Like like he can't read a letter without getting into anxiety.
Right.
And it's accurate. It's an accurate portrayal of an autistic person. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix.
It's very, very touching endings.
Phenomenal movie. If you're an animation fan, you need to see it. If you are a Hoffman fan and it's a movie they're like, oh, I haven't heard of that one, see it because he deserves to be recognized for that role.
He deserves
long after his passing. He was phenomenal. He was a fantastic actor. And he is deserving of the #1 spot on our list. So that's our top 10 best celebrity voices in animated films. I'd like to thank my good friend Michael for spontaneously showing up at my house unexplained. Please check out my friend Michael's channel, Skeleton King 1234. There's a link right down there. Click and subscribe to him. He's awesome. He's funny. He's talented.
Click the link down in my pants.
So hope you enjoyed the video. Yay. Please have a wonderful day.
Goodbye.